Hello. Today I'd like to talk about my book, Born to be Rich. I wrote it about 25, 30 years ago, but the information and the philosophy that is in there is still relevant today. And what I'm going to do here is just kind of hit a tiny little bit of the highlights from Born to be Rich and to kind of give you an idea what it is about. And what it is, it's hard to describe exactly. It's a kind of a blueprint, and yet it is a philosophical thing that you have to put into your mind, get your mind set, you might say, is the best way to describe this. Okay. Let's see, one of the chapters, the importance of giving. There's over 20 pages on being giving, and there are some Christian and Bible quotes in there as to what the Bible has to say about giving. And part of that is giving is when you want to give, in the end, it's like a mirror. You get back everything that you give into this life. And on the cover, it says, discover how to acquire the wealth that has always belonged to you. And that's probably, once you understand that little concept, you probably begin to think, yeah, why aren't I in on all the money that everybody else is making? And the reasons are in here. The wealth belongs to you. You might as well get out there and earn it along with everybody else. Let's see here now. There's some chapters on making the decision. Actually, make the decision that you do want to make money. You want to do it not only for yourself, but for your family, for your children. Perhaps build up a business that becomes your legacy that is so often passed along to your children, and then your children's children. You become the grandpa of this great empire that was built. Very easy to do, but you have to take that first step and get it started. And that is the next chapter, chapter 6, starting up your wealth-producing machine. How to get started. And it'll show you that don't think huge. You think huge to start with, but what are you going to do this week, today, this month to get this started along, and then set yourself some nice goals that can be accomplished. So there's a chapter on how to do that. Zero in on profits. As you start a business, very often, and it worked this way for me, you say, well, I'm going to do this over here, and you start, but you see some profits over here that you were unexpected. And so the result is, you say, go with the money. Go where the money takes you, and where the wealth takes you. So you will find that can be a startling thing. I have a couple stories I could tell you, but I'm not going to tell you here today, that go exactly along that line. I had a candy store. I had a confectionery store. And somebody says, why don't you start candy? Well, we never gave it any I thought. It was a tiny little thing as far as we were concerned. By the end of the year or two, we found ourselves being candy distributors for the entire state. That's how it was. We bought and sold it by the ton. It was amazing. So that's how that can work along. And where do you get the people who work for you? The answer is family and friends. Okay, start with them, and then from there you become even a bigger organization. Chapter 8, realize your dreams by setting goals. And that's it. Don't just dream at night and then forget about it. Set actual goals. There's another chapter, chapter 9, misconceptions. There's 10 misconceptions about making money and about millionaires and work. For example, one of them says, work is not fun. Well, I will tell you, my life, I've done nothing but play. And somebody would say, well, he's a grown-up kid, and they would be right, because that's exactly right. So my work is actually my play, and so I've been working and playing all my life, and I call that following your heart. And I guess that's pretty well about it. So it's called Born to be Rich. It was a multi-million seller, and it's still relevant today, and I get letters every day from people who say, this book changed my life. That's it. Thank you for listening.